Most of the time, you can easily format your shapes using the tools available in the Drawing Tools Contextual tab that appears when you have a shape selected. However, for advanced options, you may want to access the Format Auto Shape dialog box. For upgrading users, you will find that this dialog box hasn't changed very much. This is basically the old version of the Format Pictures dialog box. Unfortunately, while both dialog boxes function in much the same way, some places in Word 2007 use one version of this dialog box, and other places still use this version. In this lesson, we will examine the options available for you to use in this dialog box. You will find that most of them are very similar to the ones found in the Format Pictures dialog box, which we examined last chapter. You can access this dialog box by selecting the shape that you would like to format, and then clicking the Format Auto Shape dialog box button in the lower right corner of the Shape Styles group. This will open up the Format Auto Shape dialog box and display the Colors and Lines tab. In the Fill section, you can use the Color drop-down and then click on the color that you want to apply from the list of colors. Below that, you will see the Transparency slider. You can use this to set the level of transparency for the color that you desire. If you want to apply a fill effect, such as a gradient, you can do that by clicking the Fill Effects button to open up the Fill Effects dialog box. This dialog box allows you to apply advanced formatting to the fill of the selected shape. In the Fill Effects dialog box, there are 4 tabs that allow you to apply the 4 types of fill effects available: Gradient, Texture, Pattern, and Picture. If you click on the Gradient tab, you can see that here you can set a gradient as the fill color for the selected shape. At the top of this tab, in the Colors section, you can select either one color, 2 colors, or preset. If you select one color, then you will have to select a color from the drop-down that appears, and select whether to mix it with black or white from the black and white slider that appears. If you select 2 colors, then you must select which 2 colors to mix from the drop-downs that appear. If you choose Preset, then you must select one of the many preset gradients that come installed with Word. Below that, you can create a gradient transparency effect from one side of the gradient to the other by using the From and To sliders in the Transparency section. After selecting what type of gradient to create, you then have to select a shading style from the many listed in the lower left corner. Next, pick a specific variant of that style from the ones listed in the Variant section. You should see your choice shown in the Sample section at the far right corner of the box. You can also select the Texture tab and use one of the available textures to fill for the selected shape. When you click this tab, you will see many different types of textures that you can click on to select one as the fill effect for the selected shape. If you click on the Pattern tab, you select which 2 colors you want as the foreground and background colors of the pattern at the bottom of that tab, and then select the pattern that you want to use from the listing of patterns at the top. Once again, you should see your choice in the Sample in the lower right corner. On the Picture tab, you can click the Select Picture command. This will open up the Select Picture dialog box. Select the picture that you want to use as the background of your object. Then select it and click OK to see it in the Picture tab. That's all of the fill effects available in the Fill Effects dialog box. Just click the OK button to return to the Colors and Lines tab of the Format Auto Shape dialog box. Back in this dialog box, you have a Line section with the following drop-downs available: Color, which allows you to set the color of the line the same way you did with Fill Color; Style, which allows you to set the type of line style, like single, double, thick, etc. The Dash drop-down allows you to select a dash style for dashed borders or dotted lines. And the Weight section allows you to select a thickness in points of the line border. In the Arrows section of this tab, which is only available for selected lines and arrow shapes, you can use the Begin Style drop-down to select the style of starting point for the line or the arrow. Then you can use the Begin Size drop-down to select a size for the start point. Likewise, you can use the End Style drop-down and End Size drop-down to set the appearance of the end of the line or arrow shape. If you do not have a line or arrow selected, this part will be grayed out, just like in our example. Notice that there are many more tabs in the Format Auto Shape dialog box than just the Colors and Lines tab. Next, we will look at the options available in the Size tab. If you click on this tab, you can see that you can use the options available in the Height, Width, Rotate, and Scale sections to apply the settings to your selected shape. If you check the Locked Aspect Ratio checkbox, this will ensure that when you increase or decrease the height and width, the other one will increase accordingly. So if you increase the height, the width would increase accordingly, according to the aspect ratio. Uncheck this box to unlock the aspect ratio. On the Layout tab, you can select a desired text wrapping style from the choices shown in the Wrapping Style section. You can also choose a horizontal alignment to use from the choices available in the Horizontal Alignment section. On the Alt Text tab, you can enter a description on the shape if desired. This isn't as important as labeling your images as when designing web pages in Word, but you can certainly add a description of the shape if desired. Unlike the newer version of this dialog box, changes that you set here are not applied as you make them. In this dialog box, you only apply the settings when you click the OK button. If you change your mind about your changes after you have made them, you can click the Cancel button and this will cancel your changes.